No More Heroes, a Wii exclusive. The game is about Travis Touchdown, a hitman going up in the ranks. He comes off as arrogant, and you almost wish he would get his ass handed to him. There's nothing to like about him. He thinks he's the best, and he's going to show it. The story is you're competing in a tournament to become the number one hitman. But in order to get to him, you have to go through sometimes 50 plus enemies. This is one of the parts I didn't get. You pay to get the chance to kill your rival, but for some reason there are a ton of cannon fodder enemies in your way. I could see if you were going to the guy's house and you had to fight through a bunch of bodyguards, but you paid to fight him. Why do you have to fight all these bad guys? It never made any sense. The graphics in itself are not great. I noticed a lot of pop-ups in the city streets. Everywhere you go isn't that colorful, and it looks pretty bland. However, the game is not about the graphics, but the art style it represents. In that context, the game looks great. They have some great transitions and some really good cutscenes. I was really impressed with the way they artfully would take the most boring thing and make it fun by tweaking the way we looked at it. This is a button masher though, and when I say button masher, I'm not kidding. It's mostly one button and you're constantly hitting it. When the enemy's hit points are almost zero, the screen tells you which way to turn the Wiimote to do a death move. It's too over the top and makes you wonder how come Travis's clothes aren't just red with blood. You can do more than just slicing people. You can do wrestling moves, which I found more fun. Once you daze your enemy, you can pick them up and do different movements with the Wiimote and nunchucks to do different moves. Most of the times you don't kill them with a wrestling move, but it makes it easy to do a quick kill after you're done. You can get missions from the job board, or the Hitman Employment Agency, K Entertainment. The job board consists of mundane jobs like collecting trash, picking up coconuts, or even mowing the lawn. As boring as the jobs may be, they pay way too well. For example, the trash pickup will give you $1,000 for each piece of trash you pick up. I know they wanted to get you to do these jobs from time to time, but the money is so unbalanced, it seems like a bad decision on the programmer's part. Now, the Hitman Employment Agency will get you fun missions like killing people. However, since the amount you make is not that much more than a regular job mission, there really isn't any incentive to do them other than perfecting your killing or wrestling skills. You can ride around in your motorcycle, but it's so pointless since the town is just a hub for your missions. They add in collecting balls and finding t-shirts to make it just a little bit less pointless. There's no police in the town that I saw. No wonder this whole town is filled with killers. Plus, this has to be one of the least populated towns in existence. There are barely any people walking around, and the ones that do don't care in the slightest if you run them down. You can't interact with them either, they'll just float away. That's right, they'll float away. The town is very plain and ugly, which makes having to travel in it even more frustrating. Often, after you select a mission, you have to go all the way to the other side of town to start it. And if you fail it, you have to go all the way back to the mission select area, select it again, then travel all the way back again. A restart mission button would have been a good feature. It's just a frustrating failure in the game, and makes me not want to do any of the lesser side missions. There are quite a few places in town to go. You can get new versions of your blade from the weapons shop. You can tone up your attributes in the gym. You can buy new clothes. You can even learn new moves from a drunk at a bar. These were all nice, but it seems like they were just trying to come up with reasons why the town was so large. I wish they had just compacted all these places into one or two locations. You can also go to your hotel room, which has all kinds of options. From changing clothes or weapons, to watching TV for new wrestling moves, or even showing your softer side by playing with your kitty. The locations were all basically the same. A long hallway with enemies who just sit there waiting to be killed. The enemies were all the same, with just changes to the weapons they hold. The bosses were fun, memorable characters who you could sympathize with a little. You should not have too much of a problem if you stay locked on and dodge often. They all have a pattern to their fighting style. The controls were great. They used the Wiimote just enough not to be annoying. One of the most clever things I thought they did with the Wiimote was when you had a cell phone call. The call would actually come through the Wiimote speaker. If you wanted to listen to the call, you put the Wiimote up to your ear like a phone and listen. This is a great game, even with all the problems with the useless town and the boring fighting areas. The story is good and worthwhile to play. Overall, it's a fun Wii exclusive and is worth the money. Buy it now.